Okay. Hello. Good evening. Good afternoon. This is scene for Hong Kong House of Cards. Today's scene, Riker calls Roger Crispin, the known attorney at law for the supernatural, uh, to try and get the legal paperwork filed for adopting his new mentee and his girlfriend and her little brother. Because there's certain sordid situation that he pulled them out of, and this is where we'll start our scene at the Emerald Mother. Uh,
Sorry.
okay. He'll pick up the phone and dial the number for uh, Roger to call him and
Good
let it
afternoon.
ring. Okay, good. Go ahead. Sorry.
Um, Good afternoon, White and Associates.
Yes, I'd like to speak with Mr. Crispin, please. This is Riker Lynch of the Emerald Mother. I wanted to hire him for some legal work.
Hold, please hold. And a very polite, if very brisk, um, individual will put you on hold, and then a much more warmer voice will answer. Um, Good afternoon. This is Roger Crispin.
Mr. Crispin, hi. This is Riker Lynch at the Emerald Mother.
Oh, hello, Mr. Lynch. It's very nice to hear from you again.
Uh, Likewise, I was calling to see if you can meet with me over here at the club to talk some legal issues. I have recently acquired someone I'm of the younger persuasion, but he's not employed at the club.
Well,
Let me put that thought down. This is a very unique situation, and I'm going to need the legal advice for the mundane eyes.
I see. Um, if you would please give me a few moments, I will collect some research material, um, just to be on the safe side, and I will join you at the establishment very shortly. Please excuse me.
All right, that's
And
fine.
he will very promptly hang up, and he'll gather any forms and big law tomes and anything anything else that he needs. Um, and he'll head out head out very promptly, um, asking uh, asking to please phone his what would have been his next appointment, and just ask if they can shove that shove that back for a, for an hour or a half an hour or something like that, and and he'll head off quickly, but not going so fast as to actually break the law, because China.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, um, he will arrive in a very nice suit, holding a very familiar briefcase.
The bouncer will usher you in, knowing who you are because you've been here once before. He'll bow to you and say, "Mr. Crispin, Mr. Lynch has been waiting for you in his office in the back, first door on the left."
Thank you very much.
You're
And
very welcome.
he will arrive at said door and give a polite knock.
Riker will say, you can come in.
And he'll close the door politely behind him.
Ah, Mr. Crispin, thank you for coming. Like I said, I wanted to talk to you about hiring you for some legal work.
No trouble at all. Just for my remembrance, do you prefer the uh, Eastern courtesies or the Western courtesies?
Um, Either way is fine. Uh, Whenever I mean, usually in my true self society, we prefer to bow.
Very good,
Anyways,
sir. In in that case, you will receive a very polite bow, and he will gesture to a seat as if to ask for permission.
he will give like a regal like sweeping bow, and he'll nod his head, giving you permission to sit down.
And he will very promptly sit down, setting his briefcase in front of him.
He'll
If
go ahead.
would you mind if I took a few notes?
No, that's quite all right because we are coming close to Champagne, and things kind of happen.
Oh, how do you mean, sir?
I don't. You know our kind, my kind, how things kind of get choppy in people's memory.
Uh, um, Please forgive me. I have not been brought up to speed as far as that goes as of yet.
Well, on Sam Hain, my kind black out.
Ah,
During the holiday, when we get closer, it will probably be a good idea to write stuff down.
good to know. Thank you for that. And he'll very promptly write said note in a familiar notebook.
All right, I've called you over here to. I've recently acquired a new ward and his girlfriend and little brother through because he is one of my kind. He recently woke up. Is how me and my group found him. But the situation of where he was found was not all that ideal. He was at the dock district underneath, not. He was an underage porn star,
I see.
and he will go to his computer and uh, turn off the safety filters for his search engine and type in "find you," and pretty much in the video search you see some very illicit, very bad images with of a very a 6 foot ish 17-year-old boy with very blonde hair and dark blue eyes.
So
Uh,
he's very nearly barely the age of consent.
yes, but since
Oh,
he's chrysalis, he kind of started over.
oh dear.
Yes,
Oh
and
dear.
you see some images that of him with a particular girl that it looks like these were willing, but when you he pans the cursor over to other images, it's not particularly willing because you've noticed like the facial visuals actually you can tell he's glassy eyed. You and one of the signs of being drugged.
Um, at this point, Roger's actually going to cross himself.
I was told by my new ward that his girlfriend and her younger sibling are without parents. They're victims of the Tong,
Oh dear.
along with him. But I don't know how to an extent when before because he actually was working with one of the triad to try and get him out until before he got chrysalis and we found him.
Do leave us start at the beginning, I think. The young man in question is he a national or a foreigner?
He's very foreigner. I brought him back to he is you can tell from these images that he is of Scandinavian descent, but
Sure, but I still have to ask if he actually has a Chinese if he still has a citizenship here.
I strictly have no idea because from what I could tell, he told me that he's been with them for quite a while. He doesn't remember anything from before he was 10.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
He speaks the language fluently for someone of a native, but a native foreigner that's a real low class foreigner.
Oh, all right. Well, this may pose an interesting challenge. You you mentioned that you also have in your present custody his girlfriend and his girlfriend's younger sibling, correct?
Yes.
How old is she and how old is the sibling?
Um, and what I've noticed and what he told me, he is young. The younger sibling is younger than Pelagia, and she is at least 2 years to a year younger than he is.
So ranging from 16 to 15.
Yes.
Okay. Let me think. Do you know if he has any form of alternate identification?
I have no idea, but I could probably get a hold of his contact with the triad. If anybody has any copies of that sort of thing, he would.
What I feel I may need to do, just to let you know, is that if there is an international warrant or a missing persons, that will also have to be dealt with before I could legally make any sort of a petition to the Chinese government to at the very least, see about getting him a a sorry a
It's all right.
any sort of a status prior to becoming a citizen.
Okay.
There may be international legal ramifications. Let
Even
me.
likely as American, because when I took him to my true self side of my house, my apartment, he it adapted to the children and him being there, and it when I looked over at the spot where he noticed something, he actually it manifested a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with the crust cut off. So he's of American descent, citizenship at the very least.
Or at least that's what he remembers.
Yes, at least the dreaming adapted to what it could see as what from his past.
Okay. At because of course I can't present the dreaming's views in court, but
Yeah.
that should give me something to work with. Uh, Let me think here. I will have to do some research. If you'll let me, of course, leaving out certain obvious factors,
Yes.
I may I may have a contact within my firm that might be of some aid here. Um, if they and I could work together on this, it might smooth the process a little. Um, in the event that his parents, or rather their parents, could be found, um,
All as far as his girlfriend and her younger sibling, from what could gather from him, the police would only be finding bodies.
he just shakes his head in a very firm look of utter disgust.
And as far as I could tell from he said the first memory he could remember is a sack and him being beaten.
Oh, for goodness sake. Okay, well, that would definitely, of course, it still has to be investigated.
Yeah.
Blast it. Although that would definitely give him a way in, especially if I were to ask for a stay on compassionate grounds. Um, However, the People's Republic shifts on occasion, so it may be easy. It could be a struggle. I can't. I can't say anything solid at this point,
All right.
but I think we at least have a solid case to get them a status as a refugee at the very least to start. Um, Naturally, steps will have to be taken to get them a proper citizenship eventually, but that can be a process in and of itself.
Yes.
Uh,
I would be willing to take up either guardianship or legally adopting them until they're out on their own.
I I gathered as much as you did mention that you wanted to go through with the paperwork to get them adopted.
Yeah,
But with these factors, there are certain things that have to be
addressed. Very
yes,
understandable.
yes. So what I'll do is I'll take these names. I'll I'll see if a contact in the firm can maybe get some information from the American consulate, and at least to find out if their names come up or something. Just anything that we can use to verify that yes, these are in fact people and these are their names and so on and so forth.
So far, I know that Binu is probably an alias, but he's been with them that he answered to while he was with the Tong, but it's been so long for him. That's the only name he's probably going to answer. He's actually his true self has actually had to mature uh, fast while in there.
Mm.
Uh, his true self has actually given him his true Fey name already.
I
But he's also what me and Pelagia have gathered. He's told us that he's been called Binu for so long, or White Ox, that that's the only name he's going to answer to.
I gather that the circumstance with the true name um is 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 rather on the rare side.
Yeah, considering that's an entire ritual in of itself. The fact
I
that his true self has actually stirred to that point is kind of alarming.
I did not know that. Um,
It's not
apart,
unheard of, but and given the situation, I'm not surprised. But it's still alarming due to what they put him through to actually bring him up to that point.
if I might make a recommendation, uh, with now with your culture, I understand that this might be rather tricky, but with the emotional and psychological trauma that is no doubt within there, um, please be prepared for this. I would I would either recommend that you read up on some parenting. Sorry,
It's okay.
I would I would either recommend that you read up on some parenting um, items or be prepared to provide him with some form of counseling, as when that dam breaks, it's going to be rather monumental.
Yeah. Um, I understand this is. I know this is completely new uncharted territory for me, and I'm already looking into that. I'm for my culture side, the Puka have been very proficient in uh, positions of psychology.
Oh, Well,
due to one of their birthrights, they've been known to they notable observation. They are on an instinctual level know how to push buttons to make people talk.
ah, well, that's interesting.
Otherwise, they are very, very trickster-ish and like to lie.
Oh dear. Well, I mean, I'm sure that's rather amusing, actually. Now that I
Uh,
think of it, or it can be. Although I would imagine that a significant amount of patience is required by the other end. I'm sure.
yes.
Um.
The healers that I have on staff here have already noted that I'm probably going to have to have him a little bit more in depth on possibly treatment in emaciation and his old wounds.
I'm in that I have no doubt at all.
But you would understand um, due to our my society's culture, it probably wouldn't be wise to take him to the hospital or to a doctor's office.
Of course, although some kind of equivalent um, is most likely going to be rather necessary.
I'm already going to be setting up an appointment with the Hessian doctor, one of the doctor's offices here that they have.
Ah, well, that's definitely a start. Um, um,
And I'm more than likely going to take up your advice and look up these. As he's talking, he picked up a pen and started jotting notes down as well. Getting some parenting literature to try and uh, help on this uncharted territory of knowledge.
one vital piece of information. Do you know if either of these three youngsters um, has a known record within
Uh,
the legal system?
as, as far as I know, other than the obvious, more than likely, I have no clue.
I'm 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 just trying to cover all of our all of our bases. Um,
Unless
it's
you find something, something his mortal's true name, and you find something in with that. Other than that, I have no idea.
um, of course, I only mean that the state may try to fight this, and I just want to be able to offer the strongest defense that we can.
I can actually look into some help from my society. A lot of the Boggin kids have taken, along with the Puka, have have been proficient in the legal system.
Oh well,
If you need help, I can put you in contact with those people. They're also in they're also of House Ilunid.
Oh, all right.
If that can, that will help you in just in case that the state actually makes this a fight.
Any any help I think uh, is any help I think is going to be vital for this. Simply because the state is quite random at times. Um,
Yes, I've been told it reflects the city in and of itself.
if you'll permit me, then I will go back to the office and I will begin to uh, in investigate um, these these youngsters so that I can build a profile and and see what I can uncover.
All right. I can. Oh, okay. What was I going to say?
Take your time.
Uh, I was also wanting to see if I could hire you on a pro bono retainer for a future endeavors for the club. I unfortunately have taken some flack uh, from certain situations involving the House of Cups with the Tarot Council, and if if things come up from the mundane, or I'm afraid of the vampiric society, because their prince has already enacted an edict where the her vampires will not be allowed to be involved directly in any dealings with my society. You notice that my customer base has been greatly thinned. I
I
uh, don't trust their prince. I don't want to be backstabbed by her any further than she already has.
I will certainly keep this in mind. Um, I would be. I have actually yet to introduce myself to the council, but if if it is indeed permitted that I um, offer um, advocate services when when dealing with the council, I would be very happy to help on occasion. Um, Perhaps in lieu of financial gain, perhaps information or a favor every once in a while.
Either one is actually fine with me. I'm not very proficient in our and changeling society knowledge as of yet. I only have the basics. I can pass on some knowledge from other societies that I know of.
Um, that would be agreeable. I certainly wouldn't want you to get into any trouble. So, um, please understand that if it comes to either you sharing something with me or you being harmed, all you have to do is let me know, and I mean, I'm still very happy to help you either way. As far as any formal attorney work,
Obviously, we'll be making other alternative contracts. Then that will probably be in paper on hard copy, but it won't be seeing the light of day of uh, your office, just for the simple fact that you are more than likely working with mundane.
well, I mean, I'm essentially what I mean is if you do need some help within the mundane, you could um, hire me. I mean, I don't see that as being an issue.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, for now, I mean, you've been very gracious to me, um, especially on my first evening. Um, so
I'm very sorry about that. To be honest, I was actually avoiding trying to enchant you, but my business partner or his daughter is actually the one that unveiled your eyes.
well that's water under the proverbial bridge. Uh, it's gone well beyond any of that silliness.
I, I can see that. As he actually looks at you a little bit more focused, with it, like he tilts his head, and because he's actually looking at you in chimerical reality.
Fair enough.
Congratulations, by the way. I'm not sure which one you are, but you look like one of the will workers.
I believe, yes, I believe that that would be accurate. Yes.
Congratulations on waking up, I guess.
Thank you. Um, that being the case, I will I will get on this as prudently as I can. Is there anything else before we adjourn that you feel I should know about this matter?
Um, so far, other than the fact that I'm probably going to have to I had to double my efforts, so to speak, in getting by you some counseling, just in case that the like you said, the wall breaks down, because he actually exhibits a lot of tells that it might be coming down at some point. I just don't know when. Uh, but he's exhibiting a lot of the signs of a person coming out of his particular situation, and but with champagne looming overhead, I'm going to have to act fast.
Indeed. Is the girlfriend and the sibling also of your society?
No, they are not, but the child is has a special spot in the dreaming. If you recall call the old fairy tales, uh, but the six, she neither of our society, my society,
Mm.
of our society, but he has taken Binding has taken her as his girlfriend, possibly a significant other in the future.
Well, I'm very happy for them. Of course. However, I would I would possibly caution if there's a chance that it could get rather dangerous um, over the upcoming solstice. Um, that preparing a safe place for them.
I'm already trying to make arrangements with my kinsman's den parents,
Ah,
or Pelagia and her protector. Um, my kinsman's den parent is very protective of children.
mm,
So I'm trying to lean more towards him.
ah. Would the extreme protectiveness of children carry over if as you say your culture has a tendency to black out?
As far as I know, he's not of my society either, but he's tied to my society.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Well,
he, uh, he's
that
of the wolf shifters.
ah, very good. Okay.
Born to their society, into their society, not of either wolf or human.
Got you. Okay.
He actually cannot even get angry around children.
Huh.
Like how you would think one of their kind would.
I'm learning so much today. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Then if there's nothing else, I will start with the preliminary um, investigation,
All
and
right.
and
Thank you.
I will work towards building a case for us. I will inform you as soon as I'm able to formally put forward the paperwork.
All right.
Um,
As also, to keep up pretenses in the mundane society, I will send over the payment of cash over to your firm to pay your retainer fee.
oh, won't that won't be necessary. I can add this to one of my pro bono um, cases for the month. So,
All right.
and I figure this is an extremely good cause. So I don't see any problem with this.
All right. Understandable.
So, if you'll excuse me, please, I will get on this immediately.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Crispin.
Um, he will very promptly gather up his forms and his books. Um, and he will very politely excuse himself. And I will now do, just to make sure that this is on record, and I do expect to have to do more than one roll, perhaps, but either way, I am using my investigation of 3 and my intelligence of 4, as well as my
All right.
as well as my contacts of 2 for a total of 9.
And he would have patched you the phone numbers for his contacts to capitalize legal context of how's that limit capitalized on.
Sure.
So hold on, I'm gonna. You said investigation first.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, just so this so it's on record due to the fact that he gave you his legal context with outside limited. Uh, I'm I'm going to assume you're going to capitalize on those, and so I'm going to at least give you some help with. I'm going to do their roles to give you some help with this.
Okay. So I'm gonna roll 9, and you're gonna roll. Nice. Okay.
You get 2.
Also, because of the monumental importance of this, I am spending a sorry, I'm spending a willpower point because we are dealing with kids, and my one of my things is actually caregiver. So
the
awesome.
10s count double.
Yeah. So so I will roll that now, and yeah. So.
Okay. Ooh. Luckily, luckily on that roll, I did that for you. So 3 success. So 4 successes.
Yeah. So at the moment, it's it seems fairly straightforward. And I have a colleague helping me.
All right.
So is it okay if I do an intelligence investigation just to capitalize on all of this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so intelligence, and then assuming how I do on this, I will then do intelligence law. So
you so far have 3 successes and 3 additional dice.
okay, so okay, I forgot to add that. Okay. So that's
The first one you got, I'm going to say you got 3 additional dice, and this one's going to be 3 plus 3 as well.
okay. So let's see. Intelligence for investigation. Where are you? Sorry.
Sorry.
Okay. So that's 3 for that. That's a total of 8. Wait, 7. Sorry. Yeah. So much better. I can.
We'll call that your first roll.
No, that's not fair.
Okay, that's fine.
But it's okay. So he has a crap ton of information. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do intelligence law to put it all into a very neat court style case.
Okay, Kale is actually helping you with this, and he gave you 2 additional dice.
Okay.
And okay, and that is 6 additional dice because the colleague.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take advantage of my loss of my law specialization, which is legislation. Let's see. So that's 4 dice on top of that. Okay. 8 dice altogether. So, do I add the 2, or are you just?
You add the 6 dice if you're getting helped.
Oh, okay. So
it basically it just means you have a greater chance to have like a really good succeed.
So 8 plus 6. Is that right? So I'd be rolling.
Yes.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 dice. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
One, two. You said 10s count as double.
Yeah.
So 1, 2. You have 6 successes. Well, 1, 2, 4. Yeah, 6.
Yeah. So let me just do a quick double check. 6 successes is pretty good. So when he goes to file this, the state's representative is going to have a really hard time trying to unravel this. It's still it's still it's still possible, but I mean, if the gentleman's not careful, it could cause a pretty big international problem.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm even going as far as you have a very tight case for dual citizenship once you because you probably found out Bainu's true identity.
Fair enough. Again, if just so that this is on record, if we have made any sort of error somewhere, we do apologize and we will amend this as the STC fit. But I'm going to assume that after several hours, because something like this takes a while, Roger's going to call Riker and just inform him that with the help of his friends and my colleague, to put it simply, sir, the children should be perfectly all right. With the information we've gathered, the state would have to significantly damage itself on the international stage in order to deny this. It's still plausible, mind, but they would look like
They'll look like idiots.
Yeah.
More than idiots. All right.
So, I think I think we're okay. They they may want to send a state investigator, um, if at all possible. Please ask to have me present.
Will do.
You yourself are a dual citizen, correct?
Yes, I am.
If I might advise you to just make a note with the American consulate, that this is going on. This way, if someone tries to um, sidestep something, you have a little bit more protection.
Will do. I'll already be. I will take care of that once we get off the phone with each other.
Excellent. Please don't hesitate to call me if anything else comes up. I will be sure to file this in the morning.
All right. Thank you.
No trouble at all, sir. Please have a good night.
You too. And with that, Riker will hang up and start dialing the American consulate, and we can probably fade out on Riker talking with the consulate to make sure that they're informed
Sure.
of what's going on. And that way also we can probably, if there's any more scenes to be had, we're not going through, we're not stuck in here with each other. We can easily, this is actually an easy stopping point.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you for future viewers for watching. And this has been an edition of Hong Kong House of Cards.